much more to put down.
Luckily, we're at final nine, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hello and welcome to your second merge tribal council of Distortion Survivor Aetheria. We have the nine. We're at final nine, and we are here at tribal council to ask some questions. So we will start with. Wait, hold on. Just give me one moment. Apologies for that. My mom wanted to say that she loves you all. That's why I had to pause. Give me one second. I apologize for that. We will go with Jake. Hello, Jake. First of all, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking, Jake. So, Jake, you competed in the challenge yesterday. You made it a good way through, but you were not able to secure the immunity. Tell the viewers, and tell us all how you felt about the challenge on this nice, fun twist on touchy subject.
I'll be honest, I had a blast with the challenge. And of course, I played once before the Touchy Subjects, and of course, it's a very popular challenge here in the Ori community. You get the last, I guess, see a lot about the categories about, what people think of you, which is, I think for me, it's perspectives everything in the game. So seeing what people think is like, whether it's good or bad, it's always a good sense to kind of to see. The twist of it, though, I do like the puzzles. As someone who's not the most tech savvy, that very much was like a big curveball that got thrown at me. But I'm glad I got to the final three. I'm actually shocked I got that far. But once Rachel threw that puzzle out, being like, that you have to turn the pieces and like, yeah, this is chalk. There's no way I was doing that. Like there was just no way I was happening. But I had fun with it, which is great. But yeah, I think it's cool to see the perspective of where you are at in terms of where people see you, which you can use to, I guess, benefit you, or maybe work on changing that way from you. Change the narrative, the rest of the game. That makes sense. But yeah.
All right, we will go to Josh. Josh, can you answer any questions?
Yeah.
All right, Josh. So as you saw at the last tribal council, a vote of 6-3, Topher was voted out and became the first juror of Aetheria. What are your thoughts on the impact that Topher left on the game? And do you think that Topher's vote out has been lingering into this tribal council?
I mean, I think that was a big tribal council, like especially for my game, just because I was on the wrong side of things. But I mean, the hope is that we're we're in single digits and people start to think about like who they want to play the game with, who they trust, and like eventually people got to think about like who can win, and who they want to get out. So like sure, I don't I think everybody move past that vote and starts thinking about this vote and then the next vote. So like I think whatever happens today is going to then wash away and then tomorrow will be tomorrow. So um I don't think that anything I think that I'm rambling now. I think all is okay, and I think that tonight is just going to be something about like trust and building a new path for everybody.
All right, Evelyn, I want to ask, do you agree with Josh that every vote is different and that the slate is wiped clean? Or do you think that you are taking past votes into consideration?
As someone who's been to all but one of the tribal councils, I think it's safe to say that. I mean, it's a mixed bag either way, because yeah, there are thoughts that go with people moving forward when seeing how votes are and where like these may lie. But then but then you also have to think too, like, okay, you know what, from their standpoint or my standpoint, you have to think, okay, well, maybe that was good for their game, and then you have to evaluate good gameplay in general. And you can't be too mad with good gameplay. I mean, me personally, I mean, I've been voted out of things in past orgs, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? That's fair. That's valid. I see that.
Hey, sub, can you let Memphis in from the waiting room? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. LOL. All right, but we move on. Let's go to Big Mike. Big Mike, during our challenge yesterday, when everything was revealed, you were quite the popular person when it came to some of the answers. In the org space, as Jake mentioned, this is a very popular competition, very popular challenge. Are you happy? Are you sad? What's your reaction to seeing that you've been presented these, answers? You are the answers to these questions.
I'm pretty fine with it. I'm kind of used to being the answer to a lot of questions and touchy subjects. I think this time it's probably a slightly worse sign than it historically has been for me in the past. I think it took a while for me to wake up to the game and really start actively playing it. And I think I have since the merge started, but I think I maybe had a misread on the dynamics of the players here. So it'll be interesting once I'm able to find out what the real dynamics are.
All right, let's go to Justin. Now, last round I asked you guys if this is going to be in certain people's opinions. If this is going to be a tribe v tribe, OG tribe v tribe, swap tribe v tribe, or if this is going to be a very much open round. And we got some mixed answers. So I'm going to ask you now, going through one vote at the merge, what do you, in your opinion, think that this game is going to move forward?
I feel like it's just going to be a very open game. I feel like everyone has like their own way of going about games. I mean, I'm sure there are people that probably want to stick tribe be tribe, but I feel like everyone plays their own individual game, and like people may want to reach out and maybe work with other sides to kind of like open up the game a little bit. I feel like it just depends on the rounds and the names that are floating about. Um, so it's really up in the air. It's like I don't think I can give you a solid answer. Besides that,
We will move to Lily. Now, Lily, on a scale of hard-boiled egg to scrambled, how chaotic has this round been?
Um, I'd put it middle or closer to the hard-boiled egg, I guess. I feel like people weren't really super chatty today. I feel like some people were out and things like that. So I think it was kind of just getting down to it.
All right. Scott, are you able to answer any questions?
Yeah.
All right, Scott, I'm going to ask you, so as per the poll and the calendar, you guys do have a live event tomorrow. Do you think that the live event has any impact on what the vote is going to happen tonight? Or do you think it's just not going to matter?
Um, I don't know. I mean, because like the live night is tomorrow and tonight is tonight. So like, I mean, I don't know about everyone else, but I'm kind of like about. I always try to just live in the moment. I try not to worry about tomorrow until tomorrow comes. So I don't know. I just living in the moment. What happens tomorrow will happen tomorrow, and what happens today will happen today.
Right. And Memphis, can you answer any questions?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here.
All right, Memphis, I'll ask you my favorite question. At the end of this tribal council, when the final vote is read, give me one word to describe how people are going to react.
content, or I guess it's not a great word to describe the way someone's gonna react, but I feel like people will feel content, relieved almost.
All right, content, relieved, interesting words. Okay, we will go on to the regular two questions. Raise your hand if you feel that tonight, the night that not me but Nick will be snuffing your torch at tribal council. You got one hand, two hands. All right. And if you had to compare this round and the events of this round to a fantasy story, what story would it be and why?
Shrek heavily ever after. I don't know how else to explain it,
No
but like
context.
what? It sounds like you're drowning in a lake.
I said no context.
Context. Shrek becomes happily ever after. I don't know.
I have one King Arthur, but the person is pulling out the sword and they're not fit to pull the sword out.
All right. Is there anything else anyone has to say before we continue? All right. Well, if that's the case, it is time to vote. Go in your prod chat and submit, bump, change, do whatever you feel you need to do with your vote. But as well, we are live with the VL, where the VL will be sent this, as well as the jury is watching, Topher. So if you have any shout outs for the VL, now would be the time. And I won't be back with the votes, but Nick will. So have fun.
Bye, Seb. Hi, Nick.
I have to say, I am missing Topher's dialogue right now.
Just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. Oh my god.
I didn't even get to experience it. What was that like?
Yeah, was he that like that at every tribal?
Yes, it was the
That's
best.
awesome.
You would always keep you on your toes. I love that about Dover. But I did want to shout out my two prod guests, Dev and Philip, if you guys are watching. Appreciate y'all. Um, that's about it, yeah. But Topher, RIP, Seal and Jerry. Or we'll see you soon, or whatever the case is, but I don't know. But we'll all see each other soon.
I want to shout out my two prod guests, Drew Petrowski and Kate Cunty Jane. Yes, yes, yes. I also want to shout out my friend Zach and JJ and Hot Girl Chris.
I will shout out Michael Grossman. Thanks for being in my prod chat, cheering me on. I will also shout out my husband, Kevin, for marrying someone who does this.
Hey everyone, I look like shit. Don't talk about it. I have the votes.
That's beautiful.
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol or advantage they would like to play, now would be the time to do so.
What if you pulled the sword and it's a bigger sword than expected? No, just joshing around, of course. I'll see you guys eventually.
All right. Nobody stands. I'll read the votes. First vote. Big Mike. Second vote. Big Mike. Third vote. Scott. That's 2 votes Big Mike, 1 vote Scott. Fourth vote. Evelyn. That's 2 votes Big Mike, 1 vote Scott, 1 vote Evelyn. Fifth vote. Mike. That is 3 votes Mike, 1 vote Scott, 1 vote Evelyn. Sixth vote. Mike. That is 4 votes Mike, 1 vote Scott, 1 vote Evelyn. Seventh vote and the second member of the jury. Big Mike. Mike, that is 5. That is enough. If you have any final words, now would be the time to do so.
Does anyone want to claim asking Prod to put Big Mike Nation on their parchment? I guess that was probably Cody now that I think about it. That's interesting. If you know, that was because I was shockingly inactive, fair enough. If it was for certain other reasons, for some of you, fair enough. For others of you, I don't know if it's fair enough. It'll be interesting to hear more about the game once I'm out and the relationships that might have led to this decision. I think it could be a bad move for certain people, but I won't really know because I don't know the full extent of your relationship. So that's going to be an exciting thing to find out. That's all I really have to say.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for playing this game. It was so fun to host you. And you are free to go. Congratulations, everybody else, on Final 8. As you guys know, we have something tomorrow. Be ready, be prepared. More information will be brought to the game announcements chat. Otherwise, scram. Bye. Get out of my face.
Nick, you look really lovely tonight.